Courage, commitment, dedication. Dedication to a cause greater than oneself. These are the ideals that marked the greatest generation, the men and women who served during World War II. And this dedication was on full display here at the University of North Georgia, at the time, North Georgia College. Many North Georgia College alum served in World War II, roughly 3,000. About 2,300 in the Army and the Army Air Corps, 550 in the Navy, and a little over 100 in the Marines. On June 6th, we mark the 80th anniversary of one of the most pivotal moments in the war, D-Day. It was June 6, 1944, and brave Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy, a daring operation that marked the beginning of the end of World War II. As we honor the courage and sacrifice of those who fought on that day, we also reflect on the profound significance of their actions and the enduring legacy they have left behind. Our university, as one of only 6 senior military colleges in America, is deeply connected to this legacy of service and sacrifice. The purpose of our institution is not only to provide a rigorous academic education, but also to instill in our students the values of leadership, honor, and duty. Our Corps of Cadets exemplifies these values every day, preparing to lead with integrity and to serve our nation with distinction. And now, let us tell you about a story from June 6, 1944. The story begins in Baxley, Georgia. The year was 1916, and Frank Walker and Lena Hall Collins gave birth to a son, Fred Wilbur Collins. He was one of 3 children. Frank, his dad, was a tobacco farmer and a pine tree farmer, but Fred was destined for the military, not the family business. Back in those days, schools only went through the 11th grade. So he left home at 16 and hitchhiked his way from Baxley, Georgia, all the way to Dahlonega in the North Georgia mountains. While at North Georgia College, he was a member of the band and the Decorah Literary Society. He was known to be a very good poker player and was very fond of exploring gold mines. From 1932 to 1946, North Georgia College was only a 2-year junior college. So Fred graduated in 1936 and then went on to finish with a degree in forestry from the University of Georgia in 1938. At the time, Fred was commissioned as a 2nd lieutenant in the United States Army Reserve. On Pearl Harbor Day, December 7, 1941, he was called to duty and was signed to the 8th Infantry at Fort Screven on Tybee Island, Georgia. He was sent to Fort Benning, where the 4th Infantry Division was formed. During those days, they trained in many places, including Georgia, Florida, and the Bermuda Triangle. He went on to move to England and prepare for what was known as Operation Overlord. On D-Day, Fred was a major with the 3rd Battalion, 8th Infantry, 4th Infantry Division, and served as its executive officer. His unit landed on Utah Beach at 0745 hours. He specifically landed in the Red Beach sector, and upon clearing the sector, moved to Exit 2. Once Exit 2 was cleared and the bridge was rebuilt, the battalion moved west towards Germain. The 82nd Airborne Division was dropped off target, and along the way, Fred picked up about 40 paratroopers. His unit reached National Road 13 and secured the village of Les Forges, teaming with elements of the 82nd Airborne Division. His unit stayed there overnight and then met with more elements of the 82nd Airborne Division at St. Mary-Glace. Their ultimate mission was to take the fortress at Cherbourg. During the attack on St. Lo, his unit was bombed and he was hit with shrapnel, never leaving the fight. Also, during these days, His unit was responsible for protecting Ernie Pyle, a famous journalist whose narrative on D-Day was famously read by Tom Hanks at the opening of the World War II Museum in New Orleans on June 6, 2000, the 56th anniversary of D-Day. After Cherbourg, they moved on to secure Paris and went on to fight in the Battle of the Bulge. For his actions, Fred Collins was awarded the Silver Star for gallantry in action against the enemy. His citation read, "Major Collins, in complete disregard for his own safety, organized a strong point which successfully propelled a heavy attack by enemy forces, which had severed the command post from the rest of the battalion. Later the same day, he went to the front lines where the battalion was suffering heavy casualties from enemy fire. He reorganized the units pinned down there and personally led an attack which secured the battalion objective. Major Collins was constantly in front of his leading elements and displayed extraordinary skill, leadership, and bravery, reflecting great credit upon himself and the service. His awards included the Distinguished Service Cross, the Silver Star, the Bronze Star, the Legion of Merit, the Combat Infantry Badge, the Croix de Guerre, and the Purple Heart. Fred Collins was an American hero, and today he lays at rest in Arlington National Cemetery. Fred Collins, North Georgia College, class of 1936, who served with the 3rd Battalion, 8th Infantry, 4th Infantry Division, and landed on the beaches of Normandy, storming Utah Beach. What a tremendous story. What an incredible American hero. And today, as we honor the 80th anniversary of D-Day, let us remember Fred Collins and the thousands of University of North Georgia alumni who came here to equip themselves to walk towards purpose and who went on to serve. Alumni like Kevin Lambert, class of 1993, Kit Obaho, class of 2000, and Haley Farmer, class of 2022. Today, as we set the conditions for the Corps of the future, let us not forget we stand on the shoulders of giants. The shoulders of giants are large because D-Day reminds us of the incredible bravery and unwavering commitment required to secure the freedoms we enjoy today. The sacrifices made by those people in those times, people who had the courage to storm the beaches of Normandy, not just for their generation, but for all future generations, cannot be overstated. It is our duty to remember their heroism and to ensure that the principles they fought for continue to thrive. As we mark the beginning of delivering the Corps of the future, let us not forget where we came from, but more importantly, let us remember where we are going to deliver the next generation of Army officer for America. And I hope today, as we reflect on the 80th anniversary of D-Day, you will be touched by the story of Fred Collins, but more importantly, you will be touched by the role the University of North Georgia has played in defense of our freedom and for the betterment of America.